Hi, name's Matthew Jester, making another video here. So, let's see, I have a certificate of completion just showing that I'm certified and competent in the field of hypnosis. Actually pretty decent timing with that last video, so please watch my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. I will leave a link to watch the video in the description. I'll also leave additional links in the description of other relevant videos. I've been abused with hypnosis. My ability to speak is being inhibited with hypnosis, which is why I have to read everything when I make videos. If you notice me having difficulty speaking, stuttering, being unable to speak clearly, or any other difficulty speaking, I explain in detail the specific methods and techniques that are being used to inhibit my ability to speak in my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. These issues speaking occur consistently within the first 3 minutes. The hypnosis inhibiting my ability to speak is often very noticeable throughout my videos, and I will leave a list of the various hypnotic commands that are specifically being used to inhibit my ability to speak in my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. Sorry about that. The hypnosis inhibiting my ability to speak is often very noticeable throughout my videos, and I will leave a list of the various hypnotic commands that are specifically being used to inhibit my ability to speak that can be recognized in my body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, and speech patterns in the description. So I'm sure you were able to notice multiple impairments in my ability to speak. I'm also going to briefly explain the methods and patterns that can be noticed in my videos of hypnotic writing impairment. And I'll go ahead and get started. A complete inability to properly articulate and write a complete sentence adequately the first time. A limited capacity of only being able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time while writing. The hypnosis would inhibit my ability to articulate the next 3 to 5 word sentence fragment until I wrote down the previous 3 to 5 word sentence fragments. This was done so that I couldn't determine if the sentence or sentence fragment was properly articulated before writing it down, because then I would be forced to write improperly. Because then I could be forced to write improperly articulated sentences and be forced to rewrite the sentences several times before being able to properly articulate the sentence. An inability to form logical sentences by combining the individual sentence fragments I am able to articulate. The hypnotic writing impairment would typically require me to rewrite sentences between 4 to 12 times on average, with excessive pauses and breaks caused by hypnotic memory repression, resulting in a single sentence requiring between 30 minutes to an hour and a half to write and articulate on average. The hypnotic writing impairment would also involve slowing down the rate I'm able to write, approximately 5 to 10 times slower than normal. Hypnotized to feel back pain and muscle tension, mostly on the right side of my back, as a method of distracting my conscious attention away from the rate of my pencil strokes, so that I wouldn't notice how much the hypnosis was inhibiting my ability to write. The back pain and tension was mostly on the right side of my back because I write with my right hand. So anyways, I added to the introduction there. It is a little bit longer. I wanted to fix, like, I think there was one thing that I noticed in here. Okay, the word side, there it is, right side. I didn't have that word written down. This happens very frequently where I only have portions of what I'm supposed to be writing, and I have to rewrite it or erase it several times in order to write the sentence correctly. And that's the pattern here. So that's how they're able to get me to spend that's why the hypnotic speech impairment and writing impairment is so severe and also so subtle, because it seems like maybe just a coincidence at first, until on a consistent basis, in all my videos, recorded over 600 videos, I am unable to write it requires me about 30 minutes to an hour and a half to write a single sentence on average. That's ridiculous. So, moving on. Going back to the Billie Eilish's death threats right now, at least for the moment. I don't want to waste time on it by any means. So, that's also going on. But let's see. This should not take long for me to do. Which is, you know, the problem that I'm trying to point out as well and make very apparent. Okay. So I do have to kind of rewrite this brief summary. Just because apparently there was water that was spilled on the page. Let's see, letter content, brief summary. The first thing I noticed in the letters was that, by the way, so it almost seems as if like that was just an example to keep me from getting to what I really needed to get to. Anyway, so handwriting and cramping. I want to go ahead and just get started right now. Let's see. So like I said, you know, based off of what I'm saying, the hypnosis is inhibiting my ability to write, to articulate complete sentences before writing them down. Let's go ahead and test this theory right now. Okay, so the handwriting, cramping, got that. Religious references. Oh, so I do need to write that down. But anyways, okay. Religious references. Okay. I speak about the details of the alterations. In my video, Hypnosis and Handwriting. In my videos on hypnosis and handwriting. So let's see. Throughout the letters, he makes several references. Let's see if I can articulate a complete sentence here first. Let's see. Okay. So a lot of religious references, and then how our government is corrupt. Oh, this is about just the general content. So, anyways. So other than talking about Billie Eilish dying, how do I want to phrase that? I need to do it quickly. Other than okay, a majority of the content of the letter content is regarding religious references and our government and references of our government being corrupt. Majority of the letter content references the government and references religion and government, or a majority of the letter content pertains to religious references and pertains to religion and government corruption. Majority of the letter content pertains to religion and government corruption. And then he references equity and reform a lot. So the majority of the letter content pertains to religion and government corruption. Then he refers to I need to get this done. Let's see. So yeah. So anyways, about government corruption, about religion and corruption, and oh, which initially or like like it just looks like he's mentally ill. Which initially looked like he's just talking about mental illness, but well, I mean, which initially, oh, the hypnosis isn't hitting me. A majority of the letter content pertains to religion and government corruption, which, and I even had another way to phrase this too, but the hypnosis isn't hitting me. From being able to say it like without further what? The hypnosis isn't hitting me. This is ridiculous. So I mean, it's already been like what, 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, and I haven't even written really a sentence at all. I've written a portion of one. And even then, I didn't even. So a majority of the letter content pertains to religion and government corruption, which initially, appears to be like a delusional and presentation of mental illness. So that's where the hypnosis again is inhibiting my ability to articulate, because I'm trying to just phrase it correctly, but the hypnosis won't allow me to. A majority of the letter content pertains to religion and government corruption, which initially, and by the way, I don't have to get angry resisting post-hypnotic suggestions. Unless, of course, it's just really overly apparent that I'm hypnotized and being abused with hypnosis. So there's that. Let's see. There's majority of the letter content pertains to religion and government corruption, which initially appear to be symptoms of initially it seemed to just be delusions and some signs of mental illness, which initially seem to be delusions caused by mental illness. And so this is also where gaslighting comes into play. So seem to be delusions caused by mental illness, although I'm trying to just speak, but like so with in regards to gaslighting and using hypnosis to instill a false impression of mental illness, um a majority of the letter content pertains to religion and government corruption, which initially seem to be delusions caused by mental illness, although utilizing hypnosis as a method of because that's what I'm also explaining is a lot of the things that they did to me were not delusions. They were a result of post-hypnotic suggestions. So although hypnosis may have influenced and this would be like to avoid investigation and questioning, to conceal the presentation of hypnosis. Okay. All I'm doing is talking about gaslighting and hypnosis. This shouldn't be any more difficult for me to write than anything else. So back to the gaslighting aspect. So basically hypnosis could the letter content could have been influenced by hypnosis. Um, letter content could have been influenced by hypnosis, influenced and controlled by hypnosis. And I could say, although upon further examination, the letter content although upon further examination, the letter content was most likely influenced and controlled using hypnosis. And then he makes several references to reform and equity. So and this is also the logical aspect as well, is in order to discredit a victim and witness, just making them look mentally ill. As a method of discrediting John Matthew Hurl as a victim and a witness. Okay. And then, so next aspect is just about reform and equity. John Matthew Hurl, or, whoops. In the letters, reform and equity. In the letters, he also references reform and equity several times. And then I don't even have to actually include as a method of discrediting him as a witness and a victim, because there's other forms of evidence that I'll explain later on. Because it was also used to gain my attention. In the letters, he also references, he also makes several references regarding reform and equity. So reform, to put a change into an improved, to put or change into an improved form or condition. So I'm going to do this, equality and reform, and then and this is to avoid further like anybody examining it, or like, you know, trying to look into it, see what's going on. You know, giving him a chance to you know, explain what he was trying to say, or you know, taking the time to actually like see what he means. And then not equality in reform, it was equity in reform. It almost seemed like I was hypnotized to write equality instead. Equity and reform. There we go. So according to Merriam-Webster dictionary, equity is defined as justice according to natural law or right, equity can also mean be a quality of being fair and impartial. Reform according to Merriam-Webster dictionary reform is defined as to put or change I'm actually going to just shorten this. Right, no, I think I might include that. Into an improved form or condition. Or to put an end to and evil by enforcing or introducing a better method or course of action to induce or cause to abandon evil ways, or to induce or cause to abandon evil ways. Okay. Reform typically pertains to changing a social, political, or economic institution or practice. Reform typically pertains to a social, political, or to changing a social, political, or economic institution or practice. And I might even just exclude a lot of this. Anyways, so throughout the letters, it initially appears as if John Matthew Hurrell was making made various threats towards Billie Eilish. although upon further examination so like although upon further examination he never makes any direct like threat of death. He never once implies he was going to cause her harm, or intended or I'm going to actually take out he was going. I'm going to implies he intended and I mean although upon further examination he never once implies he intended to cause her harm, and so he literally okay. Like when you actually look at the context, it appears as if he's trying to send her a warning, especially when he offers to protect her. And actually, okay, so let me go ahead and grab these. You can't get what you want unless what you want is to die for me. That's one of them, and that one actually is pretty specific. It's also incomplete, taken out of context. But not only that, here it is, quote list. Here's some info I need you to know. If you don't take it seriously, you will die. You need to shelter me and I can protect you from hell. Earthquakes will happen. You will die if you don't. You can't get what you want unless what you want is to die for me. You will know that soon the water will rise and you might very well die. You will die. What are you dying for? And makes several statements. Makes several statements. Specifically, using the word die instead of kill. So make several statements in a context excluding the word kill. Make several statements using the word die. Cause her any harm or death. Okay, so the hypnosis is really inhibiting me. This is extremely abusive. See, I should not be experiencing this difficulty. Intending to cause her any harm, and make several statements. Where he uses the word die, and never uses the word kill. And make several statements using the word. That was the part that was repressed from my memory specifically, because make several statements. using the word die, implying he could have been warning her because he didn't use the word kill, and going as far as offering to protect her from dying. Well, not directly from dying, actually, but he literally said, to quote it, because these are like, it's really important to take it word for word. He says, "I can protect you from hell." Makes several statements that appear to actually be warnings. So that's what ended up happening with hypnotic speech impairment, though, was repressing that specific word, repressing that specific context, just how to put that together. That's the example. This is ridiculous. And make several statements that appear to actually be warnings. Because he is using the word die instead of kill. And